The fourth habit you want to look out for that stifles spiritual growth or the evolution of human consciousness is being passive about problems. Okay, there is this natural tendency in the average woman to try to avoid problems, even though he knows that problems are inevitable. And I'm not talking about self-created or unnecessary problems. I'm talking about the everyday kind of problems, those problems that are associated with the daily task of living, the problems that involve maybe family, career, business, marriage, and all sorts. So those kind of problems are very essential in facilitating the evolution of human consciousness. And so in trying to avoid them, you are shortchanging a natural process that will lead to your own transformation. Now, in helping the average mind, to appreciate the value of problems, a lot of cultures have tried to redefine problems by calling it opportunity, challenges, and the rest of them. But all of that does not really, change the fact. Whether you call it problem or you call it challenges or you call it opportunities, it's not really relevant. It's not really as important as how you see problems. Okay, it is not the problem that is the problem, but how you see the problem. If you see it differently, if you see it as something that is there to help your evolution, then you will be able to relate with it in a more productive sense. There are 5 approaches to problems that the average mind uses today that actually stifles spiritual growth, the spiritual growth process. I'm going to mention them. One is ignoring problems. We call this the ostrich syndrome, burying your head in the sand and pretending that the problem is not there. Now, what you realize is that there is no amount of ignoring problem that will make the problem to be non-existent or that will make the problem to disappear. Okay, so ignoring problems does not actually take the problem away. The second approach is, being frantic about problem. A lot of people panic when problems, come their way. Begin to panic, they begin to run helter-skelter, they begin to shout, they begin to say all kinds of things like, oh my God, I'm finished, and the rest of them. And what happens is that with this kind of emotional response, what happens is that more problems are created. In fact, the problem that is confronting them is no longer the problem, but now their reaction becomes the major problem. Then the third approach is being confused about problem. A lot of people, when they are confronted with problems, they are confused. They don't even know, what is going on. They can't even understand what is, they are just lost in the moment. They don't even know what to do. They don't even know, how to respond. That is also horrible. Another approach is being shocked about problems. This normally leads to denial. You see some people denying an event that has already taken place. They say things like, oh my God, this can't be happening, and stuff like that. And there is no amount of denying an event that will make that event. That something has happened, it can't unhappen. It can't unhappen, it has happened. So you just have to face it once and for all. And then finally is, complaining about problems. That is the most horrible approach. This set of people are good in telling stories about problems. They are good in analyzing problems. They tell you everything about problems, but they don't ever do anything to solve problems. So you need to realize that your approach to problems is very critical in facilitating your evolution. You must begin to take necessary steps to confront the everyday kind of problems so that you will, facilitate this process of your spiritual growth.